Hi everybody, I just wanted to take a minute to thank everybody that has subscribed and shared our videos and pressed that like button. Thank you so much. It really means a lot to us. We're working pretty hard on the farm trying to get everything going, and sometimes it's kind of hard to videotape as we go along, and I know that it's kind of a risk putting some of the things out there that we're doing, because if it fails, I'm going to let you know, hey, I didn't do a great job that time. So this past week we've had hot weather, cold weather, a frost, a freeze, everything. So this is just a video about what we've done in the last week. And again, we really thank you all for subscribing and sharing with your friends. It's very important. YouTube requires that in order for us to get what I would call credit for the video, it has to be liked. The subscriber or the watcher has to subscribe. They need to share it, and it's got to go viral and all that stuff. But basically, I just want to make these videos to help other people, and if it helps us in the long run, that's good too. But I like putting in things that would maybe help people grow their own garden and their own farm. Anything that we can do to share the information that we've learned along the way and that we are still learning along the way. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I enjoyed making it. So here we go. All right, Jake, you have the honors of doing the last one. Yes. All right, 300 feet of landscape cloth or weed block in what, guys, about, I don't know, half an hour? I don't know, you can't really see anything right now. It's dark. Full moon is up. Best time to work. It is nice and cool. Like and subscribe. Hey guys, just a quick note about landscaping staples. The short one, $75 or less than $5 at Lowe's. They come out the first second that that the wind comes up. These longer ones are about 20 cents a piece or so. They're galvanized. Got these at a local nursery. Definitely worth the money. These aren't coming out. Hi guys, well, I am standing out here. Today is Tuesday, I believe it's like March 14th. I never know what day it is anymore. But we put in zucchini and squash, and it's doing really well. The sandhill cranes keep coming down and trying to taste it, but other than that, the onions are doing well. They just got some bone meal today. They're doing really good. Kale, it's still growing. It's doing all right, I guess. I'm still eating it every day, but it's been really hot here. It's been in the 80s. Today it's actually in the 60s and supposed to be in the 40s tonight. And it rained all day yesterday, so it feels really weird that I'm out here watering, but I wanted to make sure that that bone meal didn't blow away. We're getting wind gusts into the 20s today, but I'm not going to complain. I saw New York is about to get 2 feet of snow, so I'm happy to be out here working in the garden today and watering in some amendments. I put down bone meal and blood meal. So these are very necessary components when you have a garden, especially a fresh garden that is basically Florida sand. I haven't cultivated these walkways right here yet, so you see a lot of weeds, but they're growing. Things are growing. Hi, guy. Look at that. He just got transplanted about 3 or 4 days ago. So we've got the dark star zucchini in that row, and then these are the Long Island cheese squash over here. So they're doing good. So far, so good, guys. So let's walk over to the greenhouse. A little messy right now. We've been over here working, and it's really, really windy. The gusts are really getting up there. I'm gonna say it's better than 20 miles per hour, but we built a little addition. Not quite done with it yet, but we're gonna have a shaded area for the sprout trays, and everything's popping up. Still got some more squash that I have to plant. Let's see, we've got the San Marzano tomatoes and some sweet peppers that are sprouting there. I've still got some cabbage, and I believe this is eggplant. Yeah, that's eggplant. The basil is very confused right now. Like I said, it's been in the 80s and then gets down to 40s at night. It's a little confused. We've got some oregano sprouting, bunching onions. The spinach is doing pretty good. Let's see if I can find you one that you can see. There you go. And we've got some jalapenos and some other peppers sprouting down there. We've still got dill and some other things that are sprouting in the other part. And I decided, I'll show you this real quick. I decided to leave an extra flap right here of the shade cloth. And this is so that if I am growing something down here that requires very, very little sun, I can just clip this extra piece up and it'll block out most of the sun. So that's why that's flapping around. Kind of bothers me, but I'm just going to leave it like it is right now. This was so easy to put together. You've got your free pallet boards. I've got T-posts, which right now are wrapped in plastic because I did not want the top of the T-post to break or to rip my shade cloth. These are 1/2 inch, 20-foot PVC pipes. I just stuck one end there, hooped it over, stuck the other end over there, and it's pretty much all zip tied together. Obviously, we aren't done. The wind is really kind of grabbing it. I'm gonna take this flap, which is the sunshade left over from the potting shed, and I'll probably knit them together somehow or zip tie them together. But all these pallets were free. The 20-foot PVC, I think, were $4.24 a piece. And I already had the T-posts, but I think the 7-foot ones are something like $5. I've got a handful of those. A lot of these seedling trays I got from a local nursery, and you can get them for sometimes 10 cents a piece. Just make sure that you soak them in a little bit of bleach water, like a capful of bleach per gallon of water should do it. Soak them for 10 or 15 minutes and rinse them off real good so you don't bring anything into your greenhouse, like any kind of mold or fungus or anything. And you have to buy your amendments, and I buy peat moss and stuff like that. Compost we make here at the farm. So this is a really affordable way to get your greenhouse, nursery, farm, garden going. I would say probably the most expensive stuff is the landscaping cloth, the weed block. That was $120 for 300 feet at my local nursery. And then the shade cloth I got at Lowe's. Prices are going to vary, but the tan one, that was $26. That was way too much, but I wanted tan. And then the green stuff, I honestly don't remember, but it came in a pretty big roll, and I felt like I was getting a pretty good deal. So, but other than that, there's not anything really inexpensive. You could probably put all this together for $100 if you don't buy the weed block. Find a place that gives away pallets and grab some T-posts, or even if you had to, you could use fence posts that are really skinny, or dowel rods or something, I don't know. You could stick something in there to keep your pallets from falling over until you could get the T-posts, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. So just get out there and find out what your resources are and put something together. It's really worth it. It's worth the time and it's worth the effort. So good luck, you guys. I wanted to mention, if you have any deer or other kind of garden pests, you're going to have to put up fencing. So that's what these big pieces of lumber are for. These are 12-foot 4x4s, and I think I bought 8 or 12 of them. And we're going to put up 2 layers stacked of field wire to keep the deer out. You have to calculate that if you're putting together prices for protecting your garden and building greenhouse and potting shed and all that. It's something that you have to include. All right, first 12-foot post going in. Deer, you should fear. Well, here's that same little guy after 2 nights of frost. It wasn't a hard freeze, but it was just enough. They got burnt just a little bit. What we did was put these black gallon pots over top with a little brick on top of that so they wouldn't blow away. And everything's still alive. Everything's doing real good. We just got to water and they're going to bounce right back. It's supposed to be beautiful weather the next couple weeks. Alright guys, sorry I'm a little out of breath. I am doing some cultivating right now and I came across something that might be a little interesting. This 200 acres back in the 50s or 60s, maybe even before that, was used for turpentine. So they had the trees tapped or whatever they do to make turpentine, and they had these terracotta pots that they would let the sap of the trees run into, and then they would process it and turn it into turpentine. So every now and again I find a piece of the clay pot. Some neighbors have found whole pots before, but I only find pieces. So that's pretty cool. It's really cool. It's probably about, I don't know, 60, 80 years old. So hopefully I'll find the rest of it, put it back together and make a pot. So you might be wondering, how does this cultivator work now that I've shown it to you? It's basically the Grim Reaper for the weeds. I put it in, I'm doing this with one hand so I can hold the camera with the other, but put it in about 1 inch deep and cut it. If the root comes out with it, like with this one, chop it up and it becomes compost. Pretty cool, huh? Got this at a thrift store. If you watch one of our other videos, we buy a bunch of gardening implements. This is one of them, and it's old, but it still works. Today I am planting peas. I'm going to plant them in between the squash and the zucchini because I'll be pulling them up when they're about 3 to 6 inches high for gourmet salads and things like that. So these are going to be microgreens. Alright, so how would one go about planting peas for microgreens? Well, you can plant them closer for one thing. Do not have to space them out because you're going to be pulling them up when they're still small. So this is just a stick that I found in the yard. I'm going to make a little trench. Like so. Grab a handful of the peas. Alright, ran out of memory there for a second, so hopefully this lasts, but then I just take my stick, kind of go down through there, maybe pat it down a little bit like this, just to get them down in there. You want them down there about a ½ inch or so. And then just start bringing the dirt over. Pat it down. If you see any that are kind of still poking up, take your stick, pat it down in there. And like I say, in a couple weeks, I'll have microgreens. You do want to take anything that's like really big clumps out of their way. But there you go. Well, now that we've had a couple nights of cold weather, one night with a little bit of frost, not a lot, but a little bit, we could really use some rain, guys. All the ponds are low, water level's low. It's not good. Hey, Senchi. You're getting so big. Yes, you are. You're getting so big. Clean, healthy chickens give clean, healthy eggs.